Chris Jones tackle on Derek Carr. Bad call. Worse than Tom Brady's, actually.
Because he stripped the ball and he tackled him with one arm.
Exactly. Listen, he stripped the ball from him before Derek Carr hit the ground. He had the ball. That play should be dead. Derek Carr at that point, his face could be mushed. Ref, you gotta let that go. The ball is not in Derek Carr's hands. The moment the contact was initiated, Derek Carr lost the ball. Chris Jones had it. That right there, I felt like they were trying to give the Raiders a chance, But, ball don't lie. I don't care if it's baseball, basketball, soccer, whatever. Ball don't lie. Kids, remember this. Ball don't lie. All right? You lie about it, you're not going to make the shot.
Hashtag Rashid. Welcome back to the Raw Sports Debate. Michael Steven here with my man Leslie. About to get into week 6 of the NFL and some cool current events. How you doing, Les?
Man, I'm doing great. The Niners playing good football. The defense is doing great. I can't complain, even though I think I made some bad picks last week. Speaking of bad picks, what was the picks? What was the record like from last week's picks? Let me hear them.
Well, yours truly had a nice 12-4 week. 12 wins.
You want to be like me, like last week. I get it. Go ahead.
I started 0-2, man. It didn't look good after that Thursday night game and the Sunday morning game. But after that, I steamrolled, as you would say. So 12-4 for me, 11-5 for Carly, and 9-7 for you. So on the year, I am 50-29-1. Carly's got 44 wins, so she's 6 games back, and you are 8 games back. You're at 42-37-1. So you got some making up to do.
Your counting is off, but go ahead. That's fine.
Listen, I'm a numbers guy. I don't get this wrong.
That's what they all say.
That's the 3rd grade math.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, but it's all good, but
It's all good. Some of these teams are going to disappoint. Guys like Russell Wilson are the reason why I'm in this position because, I've predicted the Denver Broncos to win every time and they lose. Rams, same thing. Same with Matthew Stafford. He's playing like a backup quarterback right now, if you ask me, And also, clearly, losing their center, their captain, is definitely playing a big, factor. And also the Jags. I know there's a couple of teams, players, things that, didn't go my way, but it's all good. Now I know who they are and I know what to expect from them. Another example, the Packers. I picked the Giants to lose. I didn't think they were going to do much, but they actually showed me more than,
Hey, those were like my only losses last week, those games you named. So,
Yeah, all of them that I'm talking about, I'm admitting my wrongs. I'm admitting why I'm in this position. Russell Wilson, number 1. Why? Because I had some kind of faith in him to go to Denver and turn things around. That's not been
still 8 games behind me, bro. You're still 8 games. I picked them to win every week too.
I understand. You're gonna pick him every game to win because he's your guy. There's a difference, okay? I pick him based. Listen, Mike. Let me finish. All right. Let me have my flow, please. This is my show too. But anyway, let me tell you this. I'm gonna pick Russ based on matchup and reality, whatever. You gonna pick Russ on 1 foot because you trust the guy and he's your guy. I understand. I'll do the same thing with some people like Josh Allen and Mahomes. Mahomes could have one eye closed. I pick him.
Well, for the record, you said the same thing last week, and I said, I don't know, man. I don't know how to. They haven't played well after 4 games. I may pick the Colts. So that was one of the ugliest games I've ever watched.
Ever watched in my life.
And I only watched the second half and overtime.
You did yourself a favor to not watch that game. And to be honest with you, I just want to say this. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I personally don't think that some teams should be playing in primetime games. If you're below 500, you shouldn't be on TV. Point blank. It's just bad. You should not be on TV. But I feel like the NFL wants every team to get that opportunity because, they want their fans to also get that, chance to see their own team on TV. But if your team is not good, we don't want to watch them.
You know what I
Point
think?
blank. I want to watch the Chiefs, Ravens, teams like that. Why? Because they're good. Sometimes I rather watch them over my team.
Yeah.
And that's, me being frankly honest. Some games are just so bad. The Colts, Commanders, Denver, Raiders. Come on now. Get it together before you get on national television. I personally think so, but that's just
it's not quite as dumb as Russell testing Stephon Gilmore in crunch time without DK Metcalf. All right. I think Russ beat Gilmore one time a couple years ago, and he's like, all right, I got this guy.
He made him look bad.
Not smart.
Let's dive into week 6. Let's start with Carly's picks, Let me hear my niece. What she got for us this week?
Okay, let's see. I got him on my phone here. All right. She's going with, and I don't know who plays the Thursday night game.
Commanders and the Bears.
She's going with the Bears.
Okay.
She's going with the Niners, Browns, Packers, Colts, Vikings, Saints, Ravens, Bucks, Rams, Cardinals, Chiefs, Eagles, and obviously the Chargers.
Okay. I like Carly. I like how she is, If she's against something, she gonna be against it and ride it out.
I can't believe she picked the Bucks.
Huh?
I can't believe she picked the Bucks.
I believe she doesn't like Brady, huh?
No, but they're playing the Steelers. They're probably favored by 10, so I probably.
Yeah. Oh, I remember she's a Peyton Manning fan. So if you're a Peyton fan, you probably don't like Brady. So get that. Yeah. But I think Carly would do good. Though, dude, one thing I'm gonna tell you, Mike, please don't copy her picks. All right, I want you to say it off your own. All right, don't copy her. It was a little fishy that she had 11 wins and you had 12. I don't appreciate these lies.
50 wins for me, 42 for you. It's okay. 44 for her.
42 wins. Hey, let me tell you something. We're gonna come back. All right,
I'll get my pops to independently audit this if you'd like. We can get an outside source. Nah.
I trust you.
We'll get Milan to help out.
I'm just shocked, but I'm just kidding. Come on now. This is week 6 picks. Commanders and Bears. Who do you have?
Where's the game?
It's in Chicago.
I have absolutely no idea.
This is gonna be the shitty bowl.
It can't be worse than last week. They should give us all free Amazon Prime for a week watching that game. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Commanders.
Okay. I'm going with the Bears. I love it. We're starting off right. Vikings at Dolphins. Teddy is out. Also Tua is out. I'm going to go with the Vikings, confidently going with the Vikings.
Both are 4-1, right?
No, the Vikings are 4-1, Dolphins 3-2.
3-2, okay. Yeah, I would have gone with the Dolphins if Bridgewater was healthy, but I'm going to go with the Vikings in a close one. I like the way they're playing. I think Cousins is playing well in crunch time. The defense is good.
For now.
We know how good Jefferson is. Running attack, I like the Vikings. They really put it together. I think they got a shot this year. I did pick them to make the playoffs, so I think they're definitely on track for that. And I think the Dolphins they're going to come back and make some noise later in the year. I do see them definitely being a candidate for the playoffs, despite the issues at quarterback. But I'm going to go with the Vikings in a close one here.
Absolutely. All right. Now the Bucks at Steelers. Who do you got?
Bucks.
The Bucks. I'm going with the Bucks as well. And actually, talking about the Bucks, how do you feel about last week's passing, roughing the passer call on Brady? It was a couple of them, but let's start with that one. Me personally, I wasn't a fan. Why? Because I feel like sometimes when you when you have that momentum going down on the quarterback, there's nothing you could do. There's nothing you can do. If your momentum is on him going down, maybe sometimes you could brace yourself, put your arm down something and not put your whole weight on him. I get that. I get Tua got hurt and all of these things, but now I feel like now they just want you to be like, don't even touch the quarterback. I wasn't a fan of that one. Not a fan. What do you think? Maybe it's just me.
No, it's laughable. This has been a slow and steady decline for the last 2 decades. I remember one time, I think it was the first game that Eli played Ben Roethlisberger, and someone tackled Ben too hard. And they said tackled the quarterback, drove the quarterback into the ground. And I was like, what? And that was like 20 years ago.
Now you actually get a flag for that.
And the worst part, Les, it was a 3rd and 25. I don't know why I remember this, but it was like it changed the game. And it was like that right around that time, and slowly but surely now you got that play. Listen, the play on Brady was absurd. You saw Mahomes get thrown to the ground way harder than that. There was comparisons about that. Listen, it was just a tackle. There's nothing the guy can do. You can't go high on the guy. You can't even hit him in the head anymore. So, like, these guys are just much bigger and stronger. So, obviously, I agree it's a bad call. I know they're trying to protect quarterbacks. I get it. They want to protect quarterbacks. If Brady wasn't playing, right? If there's a Bucks, if Josh Allen and Mahomes are slated to meet up and they're both hurt, or one of them is hurt, don't you know the ratings are dipping? They're like it's a fact that the ratings are dipping. So that's why they try to protect them. But man, they might as well put red shirts on them at this point. Maybe they should put flags on them. I don't know what to say, man, but it's Brady. There's a reason that Brady's playing this long. Part of it is because he's Brady and he's the GOAT. But the other part is that it's a lot easier to stay healthy now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, again, not a fan of that call, but I'm still going with the Bucks. Who knows? They might get a couple of these calls and get it in the end zone.
Mike Evans healthy?
Who?
Mike Evans?
Yeah.
All right. Gronk come back yet?
He played last week.
My prediction, Gronk is coming back in week 13.
Week 13?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So he's just coming to basically help him in the playoffs is what you're trying to say. I could see that. I could see around week 8 to 10, Odell Beckham also coming into the league. I could see him with the Packers. I said this before the season, but I could definitely see him with the Packers. He loves Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers could use some help up in Green Bay right now as we speak.
Remember, like Gronk and Brady are boys, and what Brady's going through in his personal life with the witch Giselle, I think Gronk wasn't going to come back, but now he's going to come back and help his boy out. Bros before hoes. So he's coming back.
I like that. But we'll see. I could see it happen. I could see it not happening. Gronk got a lot of money right now. He living his best life. I mean, again, he can come do one of his favorite things in the world, which is playing football and catching a lot of touchdowns from his best friend, Tom Brady. So I could see that happening as well, too. But again, whether it happens or not, the Bucks will still be the Bucks. He's not going to make the Bucks go from, fit best team in the league second. No, they're still going to be who they are. It's just that Brady's going to have that security blanket, where he can always rely on him and dump that ball to him if he needs to. But other than that, I think, the Bucks are still going to be who they are, which are not the biggest threat, but they could be a threat, as the season gets, going. I think they're going to only get better, if you ask me.
Yeah. I think the Steelers put up a fight, though. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I like the Steelers.
I think so too. Yeah. With how a lot of people kept talking about the Steelers after that game. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season, and I think he's not ready for it yet. So, with that being said, this is the kind of games that they got to turn it around. Not saying they're gonna beat the Bucks, but they're gonna do something. Something enough. They're gonna show something. Kenny Pickett could potentially have a good game, but again, the Bucks defense is just amazing. I could see him throwing a pick go too, but I think the Steelers will stay in, and stay in, I mean lose by 10. And that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, now we got the Jets on the road at Packers. I must admit, I'm so disappointed in Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. They're so inconsistent, and this is my problem with this Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers thing going on. It's like you guys there's games where they look like they're buddies, and then there's games where they look like they're not on the same page, And I feel like there's times where Rodgers is, like his demeanor, he just looks like he gives up. It's like, oh, I told you not to call it. Oh, I knew it wasn't gonna work. Oh, his body language makes it seem like, like, oh, I did this because the coach said so. Not it didn't work and the team needs to get better, type of situation. I just don't like the body language and what's going on in Green Bay. I mean, the coach is new. They're still winning. They're not going to get rid of the coach. And that's what Rodgers needs to understand. They're not going to get rid of the Rodgers. So they need to find a way on being the same page, being on the same page. They have two great running backs in the game right now. They got to figure it out. A.J. Dillon and, Jones, that 1-2 punch is amazing. So they just got to figure it out. They're a run first team. And if they pass the ball with Aaron Rodgers, it's almost unstoppable. But again, they're so inconsistent. I picked the Giants against them and they really, really let me down. So I'm going with them again this week because I think they got to figure it out. And I think people are going to bash Rodgers like crazy if the Jets, go 4-2, and it was against the Packers. So I'm going with the Packers on this one.
I really want to go with the Jets. They looked really good last week. It's a very good Dolphins defense. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Pack in a close one. I do think they need to get this W. They don't want to fall too far behind the Vikings, who already own a tiebreaker over them. So
absolutely,
I think they're going to take it, but it's going to be a close game. And in terms of Rodgers, listen, man, he is what he is. He's one of the best quarterbacks of all time, but he's got poor body language. When things don't go right, he doesn't seem to come back. There's a reason that, we'll get to him later, but Mahomes, when he's down by 10 plus points, he comes back so many times. Like it's historical. It's like Brady, when his defense gives up a certain number of points, he somehow has like such a better winning percentage than everybody else. Rodgers is like the opposite. When they're down or things aren't working.
When they're down against a team that's over 500, he's like 1-16.
It's horrible. Yeah.
In the fourth quarter.
Yeah, something bad. And he'll pull one out now and then. But again, the body language and stuff is so important when you're the leader of men, when you're the leader of the team, and you're an all-time great player. So, yeah, I couldn't believe they lost that, but props to the Giants, by the way. I know we'll get to the Giants later, but they're really in sync. They're coaching their whole team to win that game.
Absolutely. And now speaking of the Giants, your childhood team, they got the Ravens on the road at the Giants. Who do you got?
Ooh, this is a tough game.
I'm going with the Ravens. I trust and love Lamar Jackson.
I think I'm like 1-4 this year with the Giants. I picked them to win and they lost. And then most of the other weeks I picked them to lose and they won.
That's me and the Rams. Never got nothing right with them. But I'm going to keep picking them.
What's the spread?
So they lose in real life. So
What's the spread?
Happy.
What's the spread? Ravens -1 or something?
I think -3.
Ravens at the Giants. Man, Lamar has struggled in the last couple of weeks passing the ball. Giants.
Okay.
I'm picking the Giants.
Okay. 49ers on the road at the Falcons, Atlanta.
You're picking the Rams? You're picking the Ravens?
Ravens all day.
Okay. 49ers at who?
Falcons, Atlanta.
Falcons put up a fight last week.
So tell me what you think.
49ers.
I know
you know
you're
why?
Smarter than that.
You know why? Because Jimmy G is smooth, man. They look good with Jimmy G. They made the championship game last year with Jimmy G.
I didn't hear that. I'm going with the 49ers as well. I'm going to disregard everything you just said about Jimmy. Anyway, the Bengals on the road at Saints.
Saints. High scoring affair last week. The Red
Came
Rifle.
back,
I told you.
Surprisingly, man.
I told you, Andy Dalton, I had faith in him. I told you.
You're a troll, is what you are.
Did they win?
They did. You said that, but I knew you were trolling. But it did happen.
No, I appreciate Andy Dalton. I liked him in college. Let me think. Bengals in a close one.
I'm picking the Bengals as well. I don't trust the Saints. I don't trust Dalton or Jameis Winston, even if he was playing. So there's that. Okay, now the Patriots on the road at Browns. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm going with the Browns just because they're home, and I'm not sure who's going to be at quarterback for the Patriots. Not that it really honestly matter, because Bill Belichick is going to get the most and the same out of every quarterback that's not Tom Brady. So you can expect the same performance from all of them, or the same results from the game. But
they shut out the Lions.
They did. Their defense can always.
And the Lions have been scoring.
Highest scoring team in the NFL until last week. Look at me funny, but yeah.
No, I was just reminded of the Seahawks. They gave up 45 points and then 39 points. So that, that defensive-minded coach is doing great over there.
He's at least winning more games than Russell Wilson is.
They're both 2 and 3. It's perfect.
The Denver Broncos. So I'm just saying.
Let me think. I lost my train of thought. Patriots.
Okay. I like when we both disagree. I love it. All right, now Panthers on the road at Rams. I'm going with the Rams. Listen, I've picked them 4 times and I've lost all 4 times. I'll pick them to win week 1. They lost, and I've picked them to win and they've been losing. So guess what? This week, give me a win. Picked them last week against Dallas, which was the dumbest thing I ever did on this show. I'm going with them this week because Panthers don't even have a coach.
That's true. Who is their coach now?
Matt Rule got fired after the Niners put the pause on him. So it don't really matter right now. Even with a coach, they were getting blown out by teams like the Niners. So the Rams should do something similar. Who you going with?
Rams.
You like the Rams.
Eli Stafford's got to get right.
I know you like Stafford too.
I saw the game. Yeah, I didn't watch too much on Sunday, and then I went back and kind of recapped the games and everything. But I saw the 22-10, and I was like, yes, I knew it. And I was like, wait a second, I didn't pick Dallas. I was so happy to see the score. For some reason, I thought I picked Dallas.
So you could talk, for some reason, I know the reason, so you could talk shit about Matthew Stafford. But that's okay.
Right.
That's okay. I
highly
praised him beginning of the year.
I'm a truth teller.
You are. I praised him a lot beginning of the year, but clearly videos don't lie. You could go back and see how wrong I was.
I praised him last week. I was like, nah, he's due for a great game. Even though he's playing the Dallas defense and Micah Parsons, he's due for a great game. But when I saw the score, I was thinking in my head what you said. I was like, oh, yeah, I probably said he was in for a bad week, but nah.
Yeah, unfortunately,
don't lie.
Right?
But we got faith in you, Stafford. Listen,
just this week.
In his defense, as you said earlier, they lost Whitworth, they lost the center. This is, his production, just like Eli, is correlated with his protection because he's not very mobile and he's not always very accurate. So he needs the protection, like every quarterback.
As you can see in Detroit, he was very successful when they couldn't get to him. But if you get to Stafford, he hesitates. He shuffles his feet like Jimmy, and will throw the ball to anybody in sight. Anybody, bro. So there's that. But anyway, Cardinals on the road at your former favorite team, Seattle Seahawks. Who you got? I'm going with the Cardinals, by the way.
Wow. Cardinals in a nail biter. I almost picked Seattle there.
Wow, almost. I think all year, let me tell you something. Just for you and the viewers, Mike this year will almost pick Seattle every week. Almost pick Seattle every single week. I promise you. It could be Seattle on a bye. He'd be like, I picked the bye.
Give him a tie.
Seriously.
You want to know why I almost picked him?
Yeah.
Because Geno Smith is proving that he probably should have had a starting job. When I look around the league and I watch the way he's playing right now, you could make an argument that he should have been starting, that he could have been like the 25th or 26th best starter last year or another year. You know what I mean? He's been with the system for a while.
I will actually say he could have been that all his NFL career. But again, he got drafted to the Jets.
Yeah.
Look at the situation in New York Jets. It's already what it is, So adding a guy like Geno, his flaws will always show more than, like his actual good attributes. But if you put him with a team like Seattle, he has a guy like Pete who runs the ball more. Geno, I only need you to throw the ball when we need you to throw the ball, Yeah. He's managing the game. He's moving out of the pocket. He's throwing, unbelievable deep balls, actually. So, yes, I do honestly believe what you just said, and I agree with you on that. But again, sometimes situations make people look bad or look good in the NFL, okay? Jimmy G looks good because of his situation. You put him on any team, he will not look good. I promise.
And Geno's been there for a couple years. He's been with the team.
Cutler with the Bears looked good throwing the ball. But you put Jay Cutler on any team, he's not good. I said the same thing about Phillip Rivers. Overrated. He has a big arm, can throw the ball, has all the tools, but he's not a game-changing guy. Better than Jimmy. Better than a lot of average Joes in the NFL quarterback position. But the situation was, sometimes it's all about a situation. Geno was never in that situation where a team could allow him to just manage the game. You know what I mean? He was on a team where they're always losing. So it's like, oh, Geno not a guy, he got to go. And look at every team that he's always, been on since. Hasn't been the best situation as well. Seattle's in a situation where they don't need to win now. So, Geno's more comfortable and they have, a defense that could back him. But that defense ain't backing him because they're giving up 39 points and all of that.
No, I should have drafted him in fantasy, but Penny was showing flashes at the end of last year. Penny's been injured and he was mocked. Like Seattle's fan base was mocking them for picking Rashard Penny because he couldn't stay healthy. They picked him over Chubb. And now he showed burst last year. He's showing it again. So what Geno's doing is getting the ball out quick, a lot of short passes, and now it's led to the long passes. So, Geno is playing well, and that's why I want to pick him. I want to ride with him because I really again, even as a Russ fan, I don't get into all that. I can appreciate when somebody is playing well, and Geno is playing well. I got nothing against Geno. You don't.
You got everything against Seattle. I get it.
We ain't going to Richard Sherman in this show, okay?
I get it. You got everything against Seattle.
For
that's
sure.
a fact. Not against Geno. So that's a fact. I know you can differentiate between that. But Seattle, I know you got a grudge with them. Which is fine. But also, just so I know you mentioned Rashard Penny. He actually broke his leg last week, so he's out for the season. Kenneth Walker, the third, is their new the backup running back who's going to be starting right now. Yeah, he actually broke his leg last week. So, Geno, this might be the best thing we ever say about you on this show because guess what? I don't know what the season going to look like. Unpredictable with, your season, your best, almost your best player in offense right now,
I didn't know that.
DK and Lockett.
I don't know. I should have known that, but I didn't know that. I'm upset because
he's done for the season. Actually,
man, he's shown such talent, man. Like he
was amazing. 3 weeks ago, he had like 50 points in fantasy.
Last year at the end of the year, I was like, whoa, where's this guy been? We could have used that guy back in 20. They were so good in 2018 and 2019, man. They easily could have won the Super Bowl if they had Nick Chubb, or Penny being healthy. So.
I think every good team has a shot at the bowl with Chubb, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean, though. Like they were.
Yeah, that Georgia boy can run. You know what I'm saying?
Well, wishes to Penny. But yeah,
Well wishes.
that even bolsters my pick. But yeah, let's see what Geno's made of.
Yeah.
It could he's at the high right now, but I hope he continues to play well and the defense gives up 40 points a week so that, both things can be true.
We'll find out. Anyway, we got the best game of the week. We got the Bills on the road at Chiefs. Wow, that's a good game. Who you got?
Bills are favored at Arrowhead against Mahomes. Wow. All right. First off, Mahomes threw 4 touchdowns to Kelsey.
Yeah, he did.
They really missing Tyreek Hill, huh?
Maybe, maybe not. They're 4-1. I don't know why they're missing him.
They're not missing him. That's my point.
I don't think they're missing him.
Because Kelsey is that guy, bro. Kelsey is
Mahomes' security blanket.
Especially in the red zone.
Yes.
And the security blanket. He did some out routes on 3rd and short, but at the end of the day, Mahomes' arm stretches the defense and they bolstered the line. Mahomes is comfortable. Mahomes always comes from behind. He closes out these tough games. I'm going with the Chiefs. Only because I trust them more in close games. I do think the Bills have a slightly more talented squad. I'm going with the Chiefs. Tough call, though, man.
This is a tough one. And to be honest with you, I feel like before I pick, Sean McDermott got to figure something out, or they just got to find a way to get a good running back. They have decent running backs in Cook and Singletary, but they need that stout running back to a point where they don't have to throw the ball 40, 50 times. It's not always going to work. It is not always going to work. You have Josh Allen, so it makes it easy. You lucky. If you had Jimmy, boy, you done. But anyway, it's tough. I'm going with the Bills. I'm going with the Bills because I love Josh Allen. I picked him to be MVP this year. And I think he has something to prove. I think him and the Bills will probably feel like, you know what? They did this to us last year in the divisional round. It's time for us to go back and, set the tone out there, and I truly believe that the Bills can go get it done. This is a game that either one of them could win, it's a must see this weekend. But again, personally, I'm going with the Bills.
Yeah, I was just looking up the numbers. They're both, they're definitely 1-2 in MVP voting right now. Maybe your boy Micah Parsons could be 3. Yeah, they're both playing great. This is a toss-up, man. Allen's playing well. Like you said, the running game.
Run game is huge. Run game is always working for the Chiefs. They don't even run traditional plays. It's just, let me pitch the ball here. Mahomes, just look here and toss it and then flick your eyebrow and get the ball to Travis Kelce. I don't know. Anything that works, they do it,
Let's just hope the game, I think the game is going to be decided by turnovers, which is a cliche thing to say, but both teams are high flying and they both have a tendency to turn it over now and then. So I think that Mahomes might be due for a pick or 2. He's only thrown 2 this year. So, I think he might be due for a couple with the way he plays. Okay. What about that? What was that call last week?
Oh, on Derek Carr. Chris Jones tackle on Derek Carr. Bad call. Worse than Tom Brady's, actually.
Because he stripped the ball and he tackled him with one arm.
Exactly. Listen, he stripped the ball from him before Derek Carr hit the ground. He had the ball. That play should be dead. Derek Carr at that point, his face could be mushed. Ref, you got to let that go. The ball is not in Derek Carr's hands. The moment the contact was initiated, Derek Carr lost the ball. Chris Jones had it. That right there, I felt like they were trying to give the Raiders a chance, but ball don't lie. I don't care if it's baseball, basketball, soccer, whatever. Ball don't lie. Kids, remember this. Ball don't lie. All right? You lie about it, you're not going to make your shot.
Hashtag Rasheed.
Huh?
Rasheed Wallace. He's the one who said that. Ball don't lie. I think he's the
Ball
OG. He's the originator. Now, I don't know, man. That might have been the worst call I've ever seen. And I've seen some horrible calls over the years.
Strongly agree with you.
But listen, and Troy Aikman what do you think about Troy Aikman getting in trouble? He was like, put the dresses on the quarterback.
I
liked it.
He feels exactly what you and I feel.
That's what Jack Lambert said, the legendary Jack Lambert.
He feels exactly what you and I feel. But guess what? Troy Aikman has a bigger platform. So, of course, he's going to get into whatever, right? It's like me coming here. I could say whatever about whoever. Why? Because unfortunately, I don't have that platform and exposure that Troy Aikman has. But Troy Aikman is just a regular person, just like you and I. He just won some Super Bowls. But clearly, frankly, he feels the same way. He played the position. So, yes, he's entitled to say what he said. He's only getting in trouble because we're in an era where it's like literally there is freedom of speech, but the consequence is so much bigger than what it is. You know what I mean? Troy Aikman should be still sitting in that booth, calling games, say what you want to say. You know what I mean? It's come on, we're getting too soft. First of all,
we're in an era. Yeah.
They're proving his point.
I know.
I'm actually by him getting in trouble.
I'm defending him because number one, you're right. It's like a very small minority, a vocal minority gets offended. So now people got to watch what they say. But I'm defending him because if I was Troy Aikman, I would feel that, hey, I'd still be playing a lot longer than I did if Troy was
those were
out of the league. Yeah. Like Troy could have won more Super Bowls. He could have been more successful. And that's not like being selfish. That's just being real. Like that's just being true to yourself. And I'd be frustrated too if I was a Hall of Fame quarterback whose career was cut short by injuries watching this. So shout out to Troy.
Shout out to Troy. I fucking hate the Dallas Cowboys. But absolutely. I man, say what you got to say. We need to be able to, you know what I'm saying? Respectfully say how we feel.
It's football. It's football, man. It is a gladiator, violent sport. Nobody has a problem with boxers and UFC guys getting knocked out. But in football, it is what it is. But it's so commercial now. It's sad when it happens. But do you see people shed tears or lose their minds over boxers and UFC guys getting hurt? No. Football is a gladiator sport, bro.
There are actors that lose their life on set. Yeah. Not that it happens often, but mistakes even there happen. Are they saying, "Oh, let's not make movies no more whatsoever"? Come on now. Troy said what he said, and I stand behind Troy. And I think he should stand on what he said.
You want to know something? Last point on this is that the players are speaking out against this, and that's good. It's good that the players are saying, "Hey, this is outrageous here," because they outlawed headshots, and then what happens? Guys are going for the knees. Now you're going to have to put a pillow under the quarterback when you tackle him. It's out of control. So I hope
it is out of control.
I hope that it happens on back-to-back
harder and harder
days.
To watch.
Yeah, but maybe that happened on back-to-back days. Maybe it'll turn back around now. So,
but again, I think all of this is stemming from the Dolphins and the league not taking better precaution when Tua's injury happened. But now the whole league has to feel it, But we're not going to spend too much time on that. We're going to move on to our next game, okay? We got actually one more game. Jags on the road against the Colts. I got Jags. I picked them last week. They fucked me over. That's fine. I got them again this week because the Colts, Matty, it's like Matty water. It used to be ice, but all that ice melted. It's Matt water. I promise you that boy threw. He done. Get him up out of there. Wentz is awful, but Wentz was better if you ask me. So if we gonna be honest, I'm gonna go with Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, and that offense and defense. Jags, I can't really expect. The Colts, I can't expect much from them. So you let me know how you feel.
Well, he just got shut down by the Texans. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go with the Jags. I have faith in Trevor. And that squad there, looking good on defense.
Okay,
I'll go with the Jags. Tough call though.
Yeah. Dog Peterson is doing a good job down in Jacksonville. Well, shout out to Dog for sure. Now, Sunday night, we got the Cowboys on the road at Eagles. 4-1 Cowboys against 5-0 Eagles. You think the Eagles are due for a loss, or Cowboys are gonna, keep riding behind that defense and Cooper Rush managing the game? What do you think?
Wow. That's
I got the Eagles. I got the Eagles only because honestly, ain't no reason behind. I got the Eagles. Fuck it.
Dallas.
You got Dallas.
Yep.
Come on now. Let's go.
I just love the way the defense is playing. They are shutting everybody down.
They are. But
I think the Broncos would score negative points against them.
Yeah, Nick Sirianni is also putting Jalen Hurts in a comfortable position and situation that now you can tell he looks happier. He looks he like he's always blushing, smiling, like putting on faces like, yeah, what now, huh? Like he's happy. And I think
Jalen
the
Hurts
Eagles
is a
are gonna
great
keep
leader.
riding and beating all these weak teams that they keep facing. But until they meet one of them big boys, I'm still, they all right. But I
Jalen
think they're gonna
Hurts
beat the Cowboys.
is a great leader. You saw that at Alabama. I saw the way he talked before the draft. I just thought he was a very good leader. And I think
Wentz is an amazing kid. He's a good kid. When he left Alabama to Oklahoma and all of that with Lincoln Riley, again, like you said, you hear how he speaks about a transfer, all of that, how his time, his job got taken. He's a great guy, and he's always bet and believed in himself. I like guys that, they trust their own work ethic, So I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one. Now, Sunday night. Monday night. We got Denver on the road against the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers because I want nothing, absolutely nothing to do with Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson. I'll leave the floor to you to finish. Disgusting. Terrible.
All right, we need to address last week. I have never seen him have such a mental collapse like he did in that game. To throw the interception before regulation when you're up 9-6, 2.5 minutes left, you have a 3rd and short. If you're going to throw the ball, you do a play action rollout or you do a safe pass. I know you want to go for the kill, and I am, you know me, Les, I am the most aggressive dude. You don't go for the kill on 3rd down. You go for the kill on 2nd down. On 2nd down, he could have done a play fake, and he had the whole left side to run. You don't do the kill shot on 3rd down. You do it on 2nd down. My pops and I have talked about this for years. Because 3rd down, they're like, oh, it might be up. You know what I'm saying? So that was the first step. And if you're going to do a kill shot, you don't do it against Stephon Gilmore. So that was just a mental. It's one thing to have physical issues and chemistry issues with the team. That's one thing. And he's playing through a shoulder issue. But that's a mental issue. Hey, it's out there. Stop.
Jimmy is playing through a shoulder issue.
Okay. It's still a fact. I can rip the guy, but give him a fact. It was a mental issue, but hey, we're all banged up. You're on the field, you're held responsible. And then in OT,
absolutely.
And then in OT, he could have gone to the right. He could have. I don't love the play call. But at the end of the day, there were options, and he messed up. So I have to say that. Now, the discourse around him, forget that. There's a lot of just jealous haters taking their shots. But, that's not necessary. Kyle Brandt, you're going to call Russell Wilson a poser, and then you're going to interview him? Hey, Russ, why don't you grow a backbone and tell these dudes to fuck off? Like, imagine.
Russ?
Yeah. He just ignores it. He's just like, I'm better. I don't need to listen to that. No negativity. It's like, nah, sometimes people bring negativity to you and you need to say something. That's how I am. That's how you are.
Maybe he thinks he deserves all of this talk because he's not proven,
Let the play do the talking.
You really blame people for talking about him not play. Listen, I think people talk smack about you when you're good, when you're not playing to expectations. So this should tell you that the league, a lot of people have high expectations for Russell Wilson because he's not there. That's why they're talking about him like that. But if he was a Jared Goff and he was playing like he was playing, or Garoppolo or Jacoby Brissett, everybody's going to be like, he always been a backup. He always not been that guy, you know? So it's okay. But now just think about it. He's on a team that won about 8 games with Drew Luck and other people that I don't even remember.
Yeah.
With no talent.
You know what's funny, though? You know what's funny? Like, if they just... That 49er win looks better now. Like
think about it.
That 49er win looks better. You know, if they could have just beat the Colts, everyone would be like, oh, all right, the 3-2, you know, they grinded it out. It's like, that's a mental issue. So, all right. The Chargers, by the way, credit to them. They grinded it out against the Browns. Wow. Where is this game?
Chargers. Come on. Go with Russ. Classic.
Fine. I'm going with the Broncos.
I love to hear you say some nonsense on this show, bro. I love it.
If they lose this time,
if they win, I'll be so mad at myself for saying all this on air, bro. I'll lose it. If they lose, bro, you cannot pick them again.
Bro, if they lose, they're going to lose like 27-13. Like,
you're going to come back here losing your shit. You're going to be texting me on Monday midnight like, hey, bro. And I'll be like,
and I'll be like, hey, I'm still beating you by 8 games in a season. So whatever.
Please, I'm catching up this week. Just wait. I'm catching up this week.
That's what you said last week. All right. Great picks.
Great picks. Last topic of the day. Did you actually see what happened to Jordan Poole and Draymond Green?
Wow.
Man.
I saw it.
You did?
Yes. It looked like there was. What's your opinion? I want to hear your opinion first.
So, when I saw that, right, I have mixed emotions about this because of a lot of things. When you really look at the video, I feel like, you know, when it happened, I'm not saying guys didn't care. They did. But the reaction was soft. Like, it was like, oh, like, yeah, let's go then. It wasn't like, oh, my. Like, put basketball aside, right? There's no job. Your coworker talks to you, says whatever, that you can assault them. Okay? I don't know how you want to, like, I get it. Push me, push you back, da-da-da. You know, we're boys, we argue. But to punch somebody like that, and he looked like he was actually going to follow through with the left too. But Poole looked like he was knocked unconscious. You know, he hit him like, I hate you. You know, he hit him like, yeah, like don't mess with me. Don't talk about my mom. Don't, you know, it felt like it was just so angry, you know. And I'm really, really disappointed in Draymond Green because I think he's one of the great leaders in the league. Despite, you know, his actions and reactions with referees and, you know, his big mouth to say whatever and however and, you know, disrespect sometimes. As an athlete, I think he's very intelligent on the basketball court. But things like that are not acceptable, man. Like now, if I'm Jordan Poole, I'm going into my next deal, ask him for this kind of money, and because I'd be like, shit, I work at a what's it called? A violent environment. You know, most jobs he could go sue.
Draymond,
but you know,
a powder keg.
It was poor of him. Long story short, I think that was very poor, Draymond Green. I don't care what happened, and then the fact that he even got out, it's even bad. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's the Warriors. They love Draymond. You heard what Steph said. You know, yeah, you know, we love Draymond. We love the fire he brings. Da 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 da. So I don't know if Poole went out of line. Even if he went out of line with some words, I don't think it should have been met with some action. That's
Draymond, listen, Draymond is he's a gift and a curse. I've always had a love and hate relationship with Draymond. I told you my introduction to Draymond was rooting for the Clippers back in 2014. in a game, 7-game first-round series against the Warriors. That was the year before the Warriors won the title. And I said I feared Draymond. He was a war general on that court and in the huddle. He was hitting clutch threes. He was all over the place on defense, making passes. He scared me rooting against him. I actually thought the Clippers were going to lose. The Clippers grinded that out. And I always said he's the second most valuable player on the Warriors. I would draft Klay Thompson first, but on that Warrior team, I always thought Draymond was second. Okay,
absolutely.
So he helps him win a ring. Curry's the leader, but he's the silent leader. He's the overall leader, but he works in unison with Draymond, right? Draymond ruins the 3-1 lead by getting a suspension, and he says he doesn't regret it. I'll do it again, which is, again, ridiculous. So you're seeing what you're dealing with here. Then they get KD. So he helped them get to 73 wins, but then he cost them a title. They get KD. They win 2 rings. And then Draymond basically causes a rift by calling them a bitch, saying they won without him. This is one of the best 15 players to ever walk the earth, Draymond. You are not even a top 15 player. Maybe at your peak, 1 year you were a top 15 player in the freaking league. You're going to talk that way to Kevin fucking Durant? And there were incidents in locker rooms with yelling and screaming. So, this is what he is. And I'm going to get philosophical on you. I think a lot of it has to do with the money and the contracts and everything that Jordan Poole wants to get paid. Draymond wants to get paid. And I think Draymond deep down knows that he ain't worth that money anymore. Draymond past his prime.
He was never worth that money.
No.
Let's be quite fucking honest. Draymond Green was never worth a max contract.
Yeah.
You give a max contract to a guy that can single-handedly give you 40 wins.
Yep.
By himself, 40 wins.
Right.
And then the team.
There's only so many of those guys. Yeah.
What, Draymond not giving you 40 wins? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. No. We watched the playoffs last year. We watched the finals. He is the glue to that team, but he's not the most valuable player.
No, he was the second best player on the team in Game 6.
Absolutely.
Other than that, he was basically replaceable. Actually, he belonged on the bench, which Kerr did during a few games in crunch time because he wasn't good. They were hitting shots over him, and
Celtics was too athletic, they had it all.
And they were treating him like Russell Westbrook. Here, shoot it. Go ahead. Yeah. So at the end of the day, he's an emotional player in person. I appreciate his passion, but he's the kind of guy who will hit you because he can't handle his emotions. So I'm on whatever Poole said didn't deserve that. Obviously. So I'm on Team Poole here. And I don't know what happens. I think that Draymond I think they might work it out just because they got Steph and they got the culture. But, man, I don't know. Maybe they have to get in a boxing ring.
They work it out. I think this becomes something where, Poole and Draymond will end up having a good relationship because I feel like Draymond does all of this, but deep down, he's a real guy.
Right.
He's a real one of the few that I feel like you would see him and hang out with him, just because he's very honest and all of that. But again, his emotions sometimes can get overboard, and the Warriors still do need him. I think he's replaceable now at this point in his career.
Right.
A few years ago, maybe not replaceable on the Warriors, but he is replaceable. But I don't think the Warriors are going to be like, you played all these years just to get into this with, a young Poole and let this happen. So I think they're going to, let him sit home, maybe miss a couple of games. They'll be like, hey, we did this, slap on the wrist just so everybody can feel like, oh, the Warriors organization did something. The Warriors don't give a fuck. They're like, he did this. Poole going to be all right. They're probably looking at Poole like, you tough, right? Man up.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I don't think it's still acceptable. You shouldn't feel like, somebody can knock the hell out your head, but at the end of the day, if you are in that situation, what do you do, Mike? Before we end, what do you do? I want the viewers to know the kind of person you are.
If I'm Jordan Poole?
Yeah, and he's stepping up to you. You're saying all of that. He's stepping up to you. What do you do? Do you avoid him? What do you do?
I wouldn't have pushed him.
You wouldn't have pushed him.
I would have got up back in his face. I mean, now again, he's 8 inches taller than me. So yeah, I would have been like, what? I would have made him hit me first.
And you still be knocked down.
Okay, then I get up and I go at him. And I'm going to have to be pulled back. It is what it is.
Yeah, at that point, he would knocked out, sleep.
All right, then
You
I'll
wake
get him the
up
next
when
day.
they say, "Oh, Draymond left." You'd be like, "Damn, that was Draymond."
My point is I wouldn't have pushed him. I would have got up. He got in my airspace. I'm going to get in his, and I'm going to make him hit me first. Because then he'd look even worse. If he just cold cocked me without me pushing him, that looks even worse. You know what I'm saying? So
I
go
get
ahead,
what
hit
you're
me.
saying.
I wouldn't have smacked him myself. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. What would you do?
See, me personally, how I was raised where I'm from. Somebody get in your space like that, we fighting. You know what I'm saying? But
You just gone right at him, grab his throat, tackle him?
here's the thing.
You tackle him.
Right? The moment he was stepping to me, I would have told him, bro, don't step to me. I'm going to punch you if you do. And if he did, I was going to punch him first. I'd rather punch before I get punched. You know what I mean? I'll do that to you because you stepped in my space. And now at that point, sure, I could be the bad guy.
We need context,
I'd
though.
not be the meme, bro.
Draymond might step up into your airspace all the time. Like, we don't know the context of this. So
That is true.
Draymond does that. So I wouldn't just punch a teammate because he gets up in my airspace. But you know what? Again, considering his size, you could tackle him. Tackle him, bring him to the ground. Then you start throwing some shots.
I don't know about all that, but I'm tell you what, he stepping out. Like I said, I'm gonna get that warning. Like, bro, please don't. With all due respect, I'd be like, listen, bro, don't step in my face. You know, I'd be like, you know what, bro, don't do it. I'm gonna try my best to trying to walk away. So if you come in front of me, at that point, you ask for it. I'm gonna punch you. I don't even care if it don't hurt. Sure, beat my ass. I don't give a fuck. But at that point, I let one off first. You know what I'm saying? And if you hit me and you knock me out and all of that, bro, every day we gonna fight. Every day. Until I feel like I got I'm satisfied, it's up to me when that grudge is done. I don't give a goddamn what Steve Kerr got to tell me. I'd be like, Steve, you could catch these hands too.
Well, he did catch those hands. He caught those hands from Michael Jordan.
The greatest of all time. That's why it's okay.
Which was completely different. That was on like they were playing and they didn't like the way, a pick was set and words were exchanged. It was in the middle of practice, not after practice when they were talking. Big difference. Big difference. Right?
Big difference. Curves happened in a heated moment while the game was going, like you're saying. Poole and Draymond, I feel like you said, they were both calm on the side, and he walked all the way over to here. It's like, you coming to my house, my space. Oh, Lord. Forgive me. I'm throwing these hands. I said,
leave Kerr alone.
At that point, let bygones, whatever happens, happen. I'm either going to get my ass really, 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 really beat, or at that point, I'm not somebody out. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna make jokes about it. Because right now, Jordan Poole is a meme. I'm not finna be that meme, bro. I got a daughter. She's not about to go to school and get laughed at. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I'd rather let off before I get, somebody hit me. Personally, But again, at the same time, we're not in their position for a reason. So let's enjoy our lives. Great lives. Great picks. Great episode. Great show. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
All right. Peace out.
Peace out, brother.